Everybody, welcome to day 2, Breakfast with Bob from Clash Miami, and my name is Bob Babbitt. We're brought to you by SFuels, HOKA, Master Spas, deboer wetsuits, Premium Plus Sports, and of course our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Our next guest, 2-time Paralympic gold medalist, 3-time world champion in ITU World Grand Finals, 3 golds, 2 silvers, 2 bronze. Allysa Seely joins us. Man, you've got an amazing resume.
Thank you.
It's so cool, and it's so great to see you again. I haven't seen you probably since, what, at LA race 2 years ago?
Probably, yeah. Is that 2 years ago already? Wow.
Can you believe that?
I know, it goes so fast.
And that was so fun.
It was so much fun, yeah.
Having the pros, the pro triathletes, and then our top Paralympians being on teams together in downtown LA.
It was incredible. It was incredible. You very rarely get to run through the streets of LA with nobody on them.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Right. And now you said you were in a car accident last year?
Yeah, I was hit by a distracted driver, and
were you in your car?
I was in a car.
Okay.
Which makes it a little bit better than being on a bike, but still very frustrating as it interrupted both my season last year and just the lead up into this season as well. So
right, and the goal is this would be your 3rd Paralympic Games?
That is the goal, yes.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And I still remember one of my favorite moments, and I'm sure one of your favorite moments, 2016, 9/11 in Rio, where you win the gold, Haley Dans gets the silver, and Melissa Stockwell gets the bronze on 9/11. American podium, flag, anthem, you're at the top of the podium.
There's nothing like hearing your national anthem playing for you, but to also see 3 American flags flying so high on such a significant day in our history is so special. It's something I'll never forget.
Ever. That was so cool. And all 3 of you are here.
We are.
Still racing.
We are still here.
Everybody's
head
racing,
to head.
head to head. And at this point, how many, if whoever finishes first tomorrow punches their ticket to Paris?
Correct. Whoever wins tomorrow morning
is about as black and white as it can get.
Got their ticket. Yep.
Wow. Now, but that doesn't mean the other 2 are out.
Correct.
So what happens next?
So it's a little complicated, but the Americans will get 2 slots, and so we will be able to send 2 Americans.
Right.
1 American has already gotten their ticket, and so there's really 2 of us going for the 2nd slot tomorrow. And the reason we were able to have 3 Americans in both Rio and Tokyo is because Melissa got an invite,
right?
Versus qualifying outright. So that's always on the table. Definitely not something I want to have to count on or expect. Yeah. So the goal is to punch my ticket tomorrow morning.
So is Haley already in?
Haley's in.
Yes, because she won Worlds.
Yeah.
Okay, so Haley won Worlds. She's in. Either you or Melissa could punch your ticket tomorrow.
Yes.
So cool. I love that. And what I didn't realize is you were part of the Arizona University Tri Club, nationally ranked before.
Yes.
And you were before your diagnosis.
Yep. I raced prior to my diagnosis and came back after my brain and spine surgery to do collegiate national championships as the first athlete with a physical disability.
And at that point, they had amputated your leg below the knee.
At that point, no. I still had both of my legs when I raced there. I just had my neurological injury, my brain and spinal cord injury.
Yes.
So I ran with 2 braces that locked my feet, so I couldn't move my ankles, and they went from my ankles to right above my knee.
Oh my God! And you were able to run with that?
Yeah. It wasn't, a lot of people did not think it was possible, but I don't like being told no.
No, you're not a person who says it takes no very easily. When was your leg amputated?
3 years, almost to the day, from my brain and spine surgery in 2013.
Oh my God. And it was what syndrome? I started looking at this and Chiari.
I have a long medical history. It's very complex, but my primary diagnosis is Chiari-2 malformation, which is a congenital brain and spinal cord malformation. In layman's terms, basically my cerebellum, or the very back part of your brain, which controls all of your autonomic functions such as breathing, heart rate, digestion, all of that, wasn't in my skull. It was herniated into my spinal column.
Right.
So anytime I turned my head, moved my head, it was pinching off my brain, causing damage to both my brain and my spinal cord from the pressure that was building.
Wow. And how did they find that? What symptoms were you having?
By the time it was found, I was having so many symptoms. I was dizzy all the time. I was losing my ability to walk. I was very weak, sleeping 20 hours a day. I'd been in and out of the hospital for almost 2 years looking for
Answers?
Answers.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as a young woman, was dismissed by our medical system, which happens frequently to young women.
It's in your head?
It was, yeah, it was in my head. I was doing it for attention as, you know, I'm losing my athletic ability in my life. And I got fed up. I got sick of it. And I ordered all of my medical records, 7,000 pages of them, and started looking through them. And I Googled every single thing I didn't know. I talked to people if I couldn't understand it. And I found my own diagnosis that was on the very first CT scan I had at the beginning of the ordeal. So all of it could have been avoided if I was not dismissed as being a
hypochondriac,
hysterical teenage girl.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
And now the doctors who basically misdiagnosed, do they know?
They do know, yes.
Wow. And the response was?
I never got a response personally from the doctor or the providers.
Wow.
But
so you basically diagnosed yourself, and now you can't treat yourself. So how did you had to figure that out?
Definitely couldn't treat myself since it required brain surgery. It would have been a little complicated. So when I found the diagnosis, I didn't know what I had found at the time, but you know, it was kind of glaring, and I found this at like 2 or 3 in the morning. So the next morning, I woke up and I called a surgeon who happened to be actually in the area, in the hospital I had been seen at, who was one of the top specialists in the world with what I was dealing with. And so I called his office and started asking some questions, and the nurse was like, "Your records say what?" And she's like, "Okay, can you read the whole thing to me?" And I was like, "Well, the MRI is in your system. You could look at it if you want." And so she pulls it up and she's like, "Hold on one moment. Let me go get the doctor." And I'm just like, this is crazy. You don't call a strange office and get a doctor on the phone, right? Like this is, so all of a sudden this neurosurgeon jumps on the phone and he's like, "Okay, can you read to me exactly what it says?" And I was like, "This is what it says. The MRI was done in your ER. You could pull it up." And he's like, "Okay, I don't have time to pull it up right now, but I will." And he basically was like, "Okay, I need you to come in now."
Now. Wow.
Like, get in your car and come here now. And so he was a phenomenal surgeon. He was my brain surgeon, and I had another neurosurgeon who worked on the spinal cord portion of the surgery. Both of them absolutely incredible. Literally some of the best surgeons in this world. And because of them, I am not only alive today, but they also, when everybody told me, "No, you can't go back to sport. No, you can't go back to riding a bike," because the risk is too high.
Right.
They were like,
"Why not?"
You could wake up any day and be paralyzed from your neck down. So if this is what you want to do, you need to know the risks, and we're going to do everything we can to prevent those risks from happening. I want to see what helmet you're going to be wearing and all of that. But they made it possible.
So they must have shared in your when you went to your first Paralympics in 2016.
I don't even know if they know. They weren't in the area anymore.
Oh,
they
my God.
both moved on to like bigger programs running entire hospitals at this point. And so I'm not sure if they know.
Wow.
Yeah.
But what a success story.
Yeah.
Now, have you, as somebody who obviously advocated for herself and knew what you were going through when you're dealing with being dizzy and everything you're dealing with, I'm assuming that other people now are reaching out who are dealing with the same type of, basically it's maltreatment. They're ignoring somebody who knows something's going on. Everybody knows their body better than anybody else.
Yeah, for a long time I was ashamed to speak out about it because I was like, what is wrong with me that I would be treated that way? And it wasn't until I realized how many young women
you see it more
and
with
girls,
women.
Absolutely. I mean, we have the research to show that it happens with women more. How many people it was happening to, and that was when I was like, I can't stay quiet anymore.
No.
I've been given this athletic ability that's given me this platform, and I'm going to use it however I can.
Absolutely.
And it's been incredible. I actually just came here from speaking at a medical school in New York to faculty and students for Rare Disease Day about the importance of taking patients seriously, understanding how to work with complex patients, how to communicate, and all of those things. And it was incredible. And I want to continue to have those opportunities many people don't know, but before playing athlete full time, I had wanted to go to medical school. And
I did not know that.
Prior to my brain surgery. And after, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And I realized if I was a doctor, I could change maybe 1,000 or 2,000 patients' lives. But in my position, I have the opportunity to talk to thousands and thousands of medical providers. And if they can take what I give them
Yes.
and what I've learned and take that to how they treat their patients, we have the opportunity to change hundreds of thousands of patients' lives.
I love that.
So
good luck tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
I know you've got to go run and pick up all your press stuff, all your athlete stuff.
Yeah.
But congratulations on what you're doing. And
Thanks so much,
we
Bob.
should, when you have more time and we have more time, we should definitely chat more because there's a big need out there.
Absolutely. It's always great to talk with you and see you. So another time soon.
Another time soon. Allysa Seely, everybody, going for her 3rd Paralympic Games tomorrow. This is Breakfast with Bob from Clash Miami. Hold on. We'll be right back.